Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night. Don't forget to smash the like button, share it for friends, and subscribe as well. So let's start with my call, and then we will take a look into multiple coins and tokens to to have a better understanding of what's going on. So a few months ago I said that the alt season would happen in two ways. That was upon us and would happen in two ways. So why I was wrong about it? So this call was made on the Fed statement that they would raise hikes by next year. Okay, but in the other hand, we knew, and I call it out, that inflation wasn't transitory. So it was like, okay, this can keep going in the way it is. But if they said 2023, okay, so imagine making a call based on something that wasn't said. Wouldn't make sense, right? Or would be even more complicated. So that was the call. And so the whole market would have at least 9 months to keep going. And then I had the expectation for Bitcoin to reach $120,000 or close to it. Ethereum above $7,000. But right after, or not right after, a few multiple weeks, few months after this call, we had the news from countries looking to ban proof of work. So we knew this would come, right, at some point, but we didn't knew when. So that was a, let's say, the last nail in the coffin. Changed everything. So the dollar, the interest rates going up was a blow. Banning proof of work was the KO. Okay, so that's it is what it is. And so I was expecting alt to go first up and then a bit down before something like we saw in 2017. So now, after all these two events, alts will go down before they go up. And it is going to be wild, okay? So the how can I say, the long-term call, let's say the final goal is still the same. Even the targets, the expectation, nothing changed. The only thing that changed in between is that the coins and tokens that will die. Okay, many of them probably are going to vanish. And so this is the explanation on what happened, why I changed my mind, why I was wrong. And now let's take a look on what's going on. So here we have Dow Jones on the left, and in the right we have Bitcoin. There is another chart to mix here that I'm going to show you guys right after. What I want you guys to see here is, it's not exactly the same behavior, but it's very, very close. The ratio, Bitcoin ratio to Dow Jones, it is not 1-to-1. Bitcoin is, let's say, 1.52, okay? But it is close. So this, take a look at this. 34,265, 35,383. Okay, so you guys, this is nothing new, and to be honest, it took me a bit more time to accept this, because back in the day, this wasn't the standard behavior. This changed with time, and for people who like to say that Bitcoin is decentralized, it is not. It is a fantasy. It is utopia. Okay. So Dow Jones is bad as it could be. Not only Dow Jones, stocks. Because the thing is, we didn't, so I wasn't sure if the big red would arrive right at the Fed raising rates or before, and then we go up a little bit, kind of a loser's rally before going down on the event, because it doesn't make sense to go down and keep going down till the Fed raise hikes. Then we would go down again or keep going down again. It's possible, yes. It is likely. I don't think so. It doesn't make sense. But things in the markets, as we know, doesn't have to make sense, right? So we have methods, we have our way. There are different disciplines, but we must rely on something, right? We don't. Sometimes things are not clear, especially for me. As you guys know, I use the patterns methodology or the analysis of structures. When there is no structure, then there is nothing clear. That's why we wait for development. We observe before making a move. And in the last previous videos and previous tweets that I was defending the crypto market because people were calling for bear breaks and bear market, bearish trend, all of their tinfoil hats. It is not a fact. We don't have a bear market anywhere. Let's say Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, Dow Jones, SPX, any DEX, there is no bear. Okay, just for you guys to have an idea, just a second. So this is Bitcoin, right? Take a quick look. This, folks, is a bullish trend. We don't need funny tools and exotic stuff to figure this out. You can just look at it, just like this, and you can see it is a bullish trend. Now, if we flip Bitcoin, then we have a bearish trend. Okay, so very simple, right? Now let's take a look on MGI. What do we have here? There is a bearish trend. No, there is nothing special here. We don't even need the line to figure this out. Lower highs, new lows, lower highs, new lows, lower highs, so on and on. If we flip, it's a bull market, a bullish trend, sorry. So we can't have both things. It is one thing or it is the other thing. And in order to have a bearish trend or a change, multiple months and years are necessary to confirm a bearish trend. Okay, so when people talk about it without any technical evidence, it's BS, straight BS. Okay, you can look, ask a financial advisor or any other pro anywhere in the whole world. All of them are going to say you exactly the same thing. It is not because I said so. It is a technical thing. Okay, I'm just reading a very basic thing. Okay, so for example, some people want to invest, trade, and they can even figure out or understand what a trend is. They are not going to succeed, right? So that's basic stuff. So I'm not using the patterns approach on stocks market, okay? But just a quick look here on how bad it is. We can even consider more bearish development, and we know by a matter of fact that we are going to have bearish development for quite some time because it is expected. So this is behind doors conversation that the Fed will raise hikes at least a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 4 times this year. Okay, there is no other way to fight inflation. There is no other way. So what I think it is going to happen, they are going to raise in one meeting, then in the next one, do nothing. Next one, they raise again, do nothing, and then they raise again. So there is time for the market to adjust. Otherwise, the global economy debt are going to blow up sooner than it was expected. So the long-term fundamentals on the stock markets haven't changed as well. Okay, so the long-term goal is still the same. So here we have bearish development. This can play out in a head and shoulder structure, which is very significant. Even, and another thing, the Federal Reserve will stop buying stocks, okay? So the yield will stay above inflation because otherwise nobody would put their money in. So let's say inflation is up 8%. The yield is likely to stay 0.5 or 1% above. As you guys know, I'm not 100% familiar with how things work in the United States. It's not my native country. But yeah, so yeah. Now let's take a look here on the dollar. Believe it or not, there are some people that are still bearish with the same broken fundamentals over and over and over again. And sometimes with fundamentals that are not even real, I mean technical, you know, so but sadly. So this is bullish development. As we talked about this more than a year ago, it's unfolding. This is the midway. Okay, so what I call the battle of midway, that's continuation. And the question is, the dollar stays here, likely. So lower section, battle of midway, upper section, lower high before what I think it is going to be the second raise hikes. So right here, I think it's kind of likely that the dollar is staying in this range before the next meeting is on March 15 and 16, if I'm not wrong. So the dollar stay here. Fed raise hikes, the dollar goes up. That's how this is going to unfold. No doubt about this. Then they will wait till the next meeting. There is room for a last leg going down a little bit before they raise it again. And just a second, folks. My teeth are hurting. A lot of pain these days. Okay. So I don't think they are going to hit like raise like this 0.10, 0.10 and 0.10. I believe it is going to be, let's say 0.05, 0.10 and maybe 0.15 or 0.20. Okay. Some people were talking about a maybe 3%, 4% in the late term. I'm not going to say it is possible. I really don't know, but maybe it is fair to say that at least minimum 1% minimum. So, but it is just a expectation, okay? It is not a let's say a fact, a technical fact, okay? And by the way, there are people that can explain this better than me, okay? So now an interesting thing. So this is the dollar on the weekly. This is Bitcoin on the weekly. We had an inverted correlation on Bitcoin and the dollar. So for those of you who don't remember, back in the day, when the dollar was going up, crypto were going down. After things changed, the whole crypto market was adjusted to the US economy. That's one of the reasons we say the crypto market is not decentralized. This is utopia. Okay, this is the finest opium out there today. And so for quite some time, Bitcoin was going up with the dollar. And the dollar was going up against Dow Jones, for example, which was exotic behavior. Just for you guys to see how strong the dollar is. Because over and over and over and over again, when the stocks market are going up, the dollar are going down. Now it's changing, okay? And it's probably going to keep going this way for quite some time. Okay, so now let's take a look. So let's start from the altcoins, multiple altcoins, okay? So let's start with Link. As you guys know, I don't make analysis on Link anymore. In my humble opinion, it's worthless, it's useless, okay? But this is my opinion. It doesn't mean it is what I think, okay? So I will never touch it, okay? So just a second. Okay, so let's take a look at it. And by the way, I think the behavior, it's not completely awful, okay? So it's against my bias. So I have a personal opinion and my technical opinion. They are not the same, okay? My opinion is based on many multiple things, and my technical opinion is based on what we can see, if it is clear or not, fully developed or not, expectations, etc., etc. So I want to show you guys something here that is very, very basic. It's kind of ABC, okay? Not long ago in the Champions Club, I made a video talking about a scenario, like so let's talk about a different thing, like a bearish perspective. Things weren't like this back in the day. So I was talking about if things develop in this way, then we can expect that. So it was kind of a forecast if something bearish developed, okay? And it developed. But I'm not going to say, oh, I called this out, or I talked about this in advance, because I was speculating. Okay, so I wasn't sure. I didn't know that. But now we have technical evidence that we have multiple bearish evidence. So let's start with the thing that I said. It's very basic. So there's a lot of people who like to look at Elliott waves and etc., but they can't understand simple things. For example, for the setup 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, usually it's followed by 0, 1, 2, and 3, which people call 0 ABC correction. There is a rule for that, which correction 3, wave 3, or C must be below wave 4 that is in the other side. So now I'm going to show to you, and you guys will have a better idea. So I will draw this based on what we have here on the left. Then I'm going to make the thing here, okay? So here we have 0. 0 is before the bull break or the bear break. 0 is development or the starting point. And this is one of the reasons many people end up wrong on their Elliott approach, because most of their the times they acknowledge some waves, they start wrong, or when close to the end around 5, they are wrong sometimes as well. So this is based on the left. Now let's go and do this on the left. Doesn't matter where we put the 0. Okay, so this was contained. This was the source. Okay, so let's start from here. No, it's wrong. Let's click right here. So as you guys can see, it's exactly the same thing. Now, let's take a look on 0, A, B, C, or 0, 1, 2, 3 here on the right, and then on the left. Okay, so why I'm doing this way, in two ways, for you guys to understand what is the Elliott theory for this kind of setup. Okay, there are multiple setups that Elliott can be applied. Where it is? Okay, so right here, A, B, C. Starts here. Then to the lowest pivot, the highest pivot, and then below wave number 4. As you guys can see, it must be below wave 4. And why that? Because otherwise, it prints a bearish, monstrous bearish pattern. Sometimes a head and shoulders, whatever. And then the target for such structure, it's way below wave C. So it doesn't make sense. It is not part of this setup. Okay. That's why we end up with a breach. That's why it's called a correction. So most people would say, are the support and resistance folks, ooh, oh, sir, we lost support. This is it. It's over. It is going to die. Bam, bam, bam. But no. Then it goes up right after. That's how it plays out most of the times. So now let's take a look at it on the left. Below 4. Close. Okay, now they are the same. So this one and this one. Both are the same thing. Now let's take a look which price we end up with at this range. That's $4 or close to it. Now let's take a look on the size of corrections that happen multiple times in the past, that happened multiple times in 2018, things that people said that it's not possible, will never happen, this will be over, game over, bear market, bearish trend, blah, blah, blah. But no. Let's take a look. So from $54 to this target here, we would end up with a 91% correction. For those of you who never did this, who never look at the numbers, they range from 85 to 98.50%. Okay, so just for you guys to have an idea how wild it could be. That's how wild it could be. So my reading here, it's not a call on link. Again, I don't care about link, okay? I'm just giving you an example on Elliott setup, okay? So this is a macro setup. And trying to catch a falling knife, it is not a smart thing to do. Like the fake accounts pumping hashtags like buy the dip. That's fake accounts pumping the thing, so people think, oh, they are saying must be true, you know, oh, they are doing, let's do this as well. No, they are not buying, okay, because they don't know if that is the dip, okay. And again, trying to catch falling knives, it's not safe, okay, and people who try end up hurt. There are many many other setups like this in the crypto market right now. So that's my whole point right here. Link, it's following many other tokens. So let's say they are behaving quite together, you know. For example, ERC20 tokens based on Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, ZEC, Monero, Litecoin, ZEC, Monero, Dash, and many others following Bitcoin. And so many different others as well following Bitcoin. And then some others that follow Uni, and so on and on and on and on. It's like an index behavior. It's not an index, but it is like. Now, a different thing here, just another one, just for guys to have an idea about what a bullish trend is and why. Again, folks, there is no bearish trend until it happens. There is no bearish market until it happens. Trying to call things straight from the hat doesn't make any sense, just like you guys can see right here. So let me delete this thing here. So what would be a healthy correction? Anything inside this range would be a bullish correction. Some people would say, oh no, please. They will be pissed off because they don't want things to go down, but they don't understand the basic fundamentals. For example, measuring the size of, let's say, a correction right here, okay? So this is for a bull market, but what for a bearish market or a bearish trend and a bullish trend? As you guys can see, they can't be the same. They can't have the same nature. Second. So, would be wild, something around 5 and 1. Yes, it would be, no doubt. But, just take a look at this. Previous high. Last high. Let's analogy, can be on the left, must be on the right. That's the way for Elliott. So let's use this guy here. That's the previous low. Okay, again, can't be to the left, must be to the right for a bullish setup. For a bearish one, it starts on the left, it's inverted. So let's say we end up right here. Then a lot of folks are going to say, well, this is over, it's a bearish trend, oh, things are going to zero, it's going to die, bear market. But no, just look here. It would be a savage and wild higher low. Now we can look at the points just to have an idea. So that would be almost 1000%, 900% difference from one section to the other. Let me give you another example because maybe for some people this can be overwhelming. Just a second, folks. All right, here. As you guys know, Amazon went up big time. So what I want to show you is this. Oh, where Amazon stopped? Inside the honey spot. Do you guys remember what I just said? That it is healthy to have corrections in a bullish trend here on the honey spot. And folks, by the way, these numbers for the Fibonacci retracement tool, one must match the other to be valid. There is harmony between all those numbers. Doesn't matter which platform you are using. You can be in the United States, you can be in Japan, you can be in Egypt or Germany. There is a standard for a reason, because the numbers must match each other. There is a math behind this formula right here. So when people change this, the levels on the retracement tool, they're actually messing up the whole thing. So the whole thing will be wrong. Okay. So now let's take a look here. This guy was the marginal. No, was this one right here. $95.12. Wild, but this is the start, right? So let's move from the right. Remember, Elliott must move to the right for a bullish trend. Previous high, higher low against the previous one, so that's bullish, right? Also honey spot, no news. If we move forward, take a look at this. The beauty. So it took a long time to happen. So this is stocks, different mechanics, different behavior. There is a lot of other things involved. So this is not crypto. I just wanted to show you guys technical fundamentals. We have a thing or we don't have a thing. It is valid or it is not valid. Some people, they're so blind that when we talk technical things, they think we are talking about our opinion, what we think or what we believe, and that's not true. Okay. So right after we had the bullish continuation and went for insane highs. Also, not a single one extension level here used for trying to play quote targets would fail miserably, would end up in selling too early and watching the thing keep going up and up and up and up and up. That's exactly what is going to happen with XRP. But people are not going to believe, they will pay to see, and they are going to regret. So it is not going to happen today or tomorrow or next month. Okay, no problem. We know what a trend is, right? So that's what's important. That's what matters. So now let's take a look on ZRX. Another great example. So here we are on the weekly. So let me show you something here. So here I'm talking about behavior, technical fundamentals. I won't buy ZRX. Okay, I'm not aware of the project, what they are doing. If they will survive regulations, I don't know. Okay, the thing here is technical fundamentals. So let's start from the very beginning. What do we have? We have a macro bullish structure developing, but it is not fully developed. It's around ahead 50%. So there's a lot of things to happen. And again, when we talk about anything that is not close to, let's say, 95, 98, 99%, we are speculating. So imagine to be on, it must be on one state. There is one. When it is off, it is at zero state, like binary. It's on, it's off, 1 and 0. Okay, so when we are talking about 90, 95, 92, 98, some people will think, oh, okay, this is it. No, that's why we wait. That's the way, you know. And this is exactly what I've been doing on XRP, Bitcoin, stocks. I was reading what we had and talking about the fundamentals of the things that were developing. But I made it clear that things were developing. It was happening. It wasn't close to the end, you know? And that's something that I don't know why a lot of people struggle to understand. So some dare to say that I made calls. I mean, for the XRP and Bitcoin, we were waiting, we were observing. And this is so true, that in the Champions Club, we have a methodology, a way to trade. There is a way also to make technical analysis, to make purchases on the spot. And we use the same fundamentals. And we've been doing this for more than 2 years. And I've been doing this for more than 2 years. Actually, around 3 years and a few months, 3 years and 6 months, close to it. Okay, so there is evidence. Okay, there is method, there is a way. So it is not something out of the hat, you know. But so, yes, let's take a look here. So, could this be a double top? Could be, but we have different numbers. Let's take a look at it. So a double top or a double bottom or whatever, they are usually, it's called a double because it has the same numbers or above or below. So I'm using the way, the same methodology when we have different numbers. And as you guys can see here, it's almost a 9% difference. So in my humble opinion, it is not a double top, okay? And again, I am not biased around the ZRX. Like I said, I wouldn't touch this. But what I care is the fundamentals. Okay, if the fundamentals are good, okay, that's great, whatever. So this is macro bullish development so far. That's why I use the word at this moment. It's not ready, it's developing. So what else we have inside here that tell us, because I said it is bearish. So why it is bearish? First thing, golden rejection, which makes what? Bearish continuation and a typical behavior that we call losers rally, because the buyers fail to make a new high or to continue with strength. But we know this is not based on buyers or sellers. ZRX is tied into the whole market, so it's probably mimicking other coin, or can be Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever behavior, okay? So first thing, end up rejected from the honey spot, poor behavior, flat structure, whole breach. So we have multiple bearish evidence, okay, in a short time frame. So this, now that. Okay, let's go into the 3 days so you guys can have a better. Okay, so right here. This is the bearish development. And again, folks, again, people who talk about support and resistance, they will always say, oh, we have support here. Oh, we have resistance there. But when the thing breaks, they have no excuse. The thing that they will say is, oh, we lost the resistance. Oh, we lost the support. That's what they say. There is never an explanation, you know? So that's why this thing, it's a full way to look at price or index or whatever development, because it is flat because it's weak. It has a whole breach because it's weakness. So let's start again with this. It is flat because it's weak. It has a whole breach because it's weakness. it has a golden rejection because it is weakness. It is developing a bearish structure because it is weak. Okay, so it's weakness. So, and there are, so just like we talked about, show to you the way to measure the thing and how many bearish evidence we have, and plus many other things. There's a lot of other things, okay? But I'm just talking about a few of them because otherwise this video would be 3-4 hours long. And so just for you guys to understand the short vision those people have. Oh, there's a support here, I'm going to buy. They are actually making the thing more bearish, okay? But people who have this vision, they won't see and understand anything, okay? Of course, sometimes things will play, otherwise other times they won't, but it is what it is, okay? That's why the macro perspective will always be important. So now again, and by the way, I was upset. So not long ago, a friend said, shared a scenario for XRP with a very low number. And I was kind of pissed off because the problem is, in order to make such a call, we needed something clear, something that is there. Then there is no problem. But just talking about this can happen, that can happen, if this, if that, it's a speculation. And then what is going to happen? Oh, you see, I told you it happened. I was right. That's not fair. Okay, when we are speculating, it's open, you know. So my problem is not with weird or wild calls. It's when things doesn't have technical evidence. Okay, so again, let's measure this guy. So 80, 83, 87 honey spot range. If it goes below 90% range, even if we go down, not we, ZRX, 92%, what we end up with? Previous high, previous low, lower high, higher low. So this is basically exactly what is going on with XRP with a different number and different power. XRP was lacking firepower, but it is the same scenario. So expecting, because they are going to talk about bear market, this is it, it's over, it's ruined, it's going to die. And then they will say, oh, it's going to zero, blah, blah, blah. But no, there won't be technical evidence. And by the way, the target for this bearish structure right here that is still developing, okay, I will probably short this guy here or link. I still have to think about which one. So this is not 100% accurate. It is just a way to have it's like a graphical representation of something more complex, okay? And usually the numbers stay inside this range right here. So it doesn't cover the whole form. But even though if it happens, high or low. Now take a look at this. Previous high from this high right here, 86%. And here we would have a higher low with 30%, a 30% higher low, which is aggressive and still bullish. So all those kiddos and all those digital gigolos what they are going to say? Oh, we are going down, it's over. So they will be right. Imagine, just imagine this. Think about this. Then we go down. Okay, so from here. Something like this. Then we go down. This is going to be a period of time. Okay, short period of time. And then they will say, oh, this is it, we are going down, oh, bear market, bearish trend. And then for this short period of time, a lot of people will think they are right, they know what they are talking about, but they are just moving along, you know. They just jump in the train and they are just going with it, but they don't know where it is going to stop. That's why they end up in places that they have no idea, or have no idea what they are doing. And so right after, when things start to go up again, they keep calling for the doomsday. We saw this many, multiple 100 times since 2018. And we still see today. Why? They develop a bearish syndrome. Okay, when things keep going up, they keep calling the things will go down, will crash, this is it, it's over, bear this, bearish me this, bearish me that, all the nonsense. Because if one or two maybe said they were wrong, something changed, but the whole majority just keep going with the same plan over and over and over. Even then, if they are wrong, they don't want to lose followers, or they want to stop selling their advertisement or whatever it is. Okay, that's also one of the problems with conflict of interests. Now let's take a look on the which one? No. Let me see. XLM. XLM is back in the radar. Okay, right here. Exactly. That's exactly the same behavior as ZRX, and XLM doesn't have any business with ZRX. This is proof that they are moving along based on other things. Now let's take a look and you guys draw your conclusions. So back in the day right here, I was trading. And this thing was bearish, all the way bearish. So actually, let's start from zero here, right? So we are looking to technical fundamentals. So yes. So I am going to measure this guy and this guy. Why? That's why it is important to be able to properly read the pivots. If people can read or understand or doesn't have any idea what a pivot is, they are going to fail in their analysis and also fail on Elliott. Okay? So let's go. Oops. Right here. And then right here. So what we did had golden rejection, then multiple golden rejections, bearish development, a straight Elliott bearish setup right here. Okay, now let's take a look here on the right. Same kind of bearish rejection. It is still a golden rejection. Why? So it wasn't rejected from the 50% because the 50, it's not on Fibonacci, the formula, you know, the math behind it. So yes, it was a golden rejection. And there's another thing. So losers rally, golden rejection, marginal, very weak, lower high, just like it happened right here. You see? So this guy, and here is the failed bullish rally, which is called the losers rally. So here exactly the same thing 2 times. So this we can consider a double or triple top. So it's inside, right? So inside it's there is this consensus about such structures only happens at the very tops or the very bottom. So that's why I don't like to acknowledge this way, but just for the sake of this example, whatever. So again, this is the scenario that people will say this is it, XLM is going to die, XLM is over, it's bearish trend, bearish market, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not how this is going to happen. This is a macro bull, folks. Macro bull. So before they are wrong, they will be right. So, but what matters is the macro perspective. That's why most of them are always wrong, because they can't understand or figure out how patterns, read pivots, Elliott, etc., and so on. That's why we say we have the last left. You know, the left first, and then we left last. Okay. Macro bullish development. Pain in between. Here the difference is around 23%. So this is way, way better than XRP, because XRP, if I'm not wrong, it's far away by 40%. That's why we had the expectation from a strong lower high on XRP, but that was also based on the Fed saying they would raise by 2023, etc. You guys know. So now let's take a look on a possible the size of the damage. Uh, 8 cents. We are around 19, so that's not so wild. But let's take a look here. So this is my opinion. It's not a technical evidence, but I think it can go as low as 6 cents. Okay, that's going to be more than so it would be 300 plus. Okay, so actually not. Oh yes, 300 plus. So 6, 12, 18 plus. So that's around 75%, close to it. Okay, so yeah. And so what would be the thing here? Previous high, previous low, bases, pivots, lower high, possible higher low. And then this possible higher low, because I'm speculating, I don't know. We know it is going down, but we don't know how much. So this would still be a 141 higher low, percent higher low, which is great. It's fantastic, you know. And there is something to observe here. This one, we were in this one back in the day. Wasn't 100% clear, a little bit deformed, but it is an inverted head and shoulders. You guys remember the example that I gave for double or triple top? Happening on the very top or the very bottom? Yes. So what does it mean? A head and shoulders, an inverted head and shoulders means it is a top reversal structure or a bottom reversal structure. Doesn't mean it can't go below it, but it means it can go close to it. So for example, right here, let's say 7 cents, okay, just for the sake of this example. This is the previous neckline for this inverted head and shoulders. Would make sense to stop right at it? Well, it's possible. Who knows? It's still 7 cents, close to 8. A little bit below, it turns into a bear trap. Okay, because there will always be people selling everything they have based on the doomsday newsletter, folks. You know, the opium news and crack dealers, all sort of digital gigolos, making people fear to the death, and then they are going to sell, and then it is going to be. That's one of the ways a bear trap could possibly happens. If possible, I will work more into this chart, something that I never did before, and I will make things better here because XLM is back into the radar. So XRP, XLM, XDC, there's another one, and yeah, so that's going to be the things to look at for me. Okay, so that's my personal opinion. So expectations here. This is a micro bull development, but it's still what? Still speculation. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go into Bitcoin. Then to finish XRP. Folks, again, I will say this again. This is a bullish trend. There is no bearish trend. There is no bear market. It is impossible to make such a call right now. And why? Because there is no technical evidence. There is no fundamentals. Doesn't make sense. Okay, it's opium. Okay, the finest opium ever. But there is a scenario that a lot of people will say it is impossible, it can happen, won't happen, la la la. So let's do here what we did into the other tokens. Okay, so there won't be any bias, there won't be any personal wish or desire. It is going to be technical fundamentals only. Okay. So I already said that based on the Fed 23, I was expecting another year according to the call, and then we could possibly keep going up, but this changed. Okay, so have this in mind. So I was expecting before the Fed news $120,000, which by the way, it is going to happen, but not now, not next month, and probably not next year. I strongly, and also after the Fed call, what we had, the news that countries are looking to ban proof of work. Okay, so this was another nail. We talked about this already. But so, do you guys remember? So let's do that exercise again because now things change. Now we have evidence. Okay, before we didn't had, even though I'm talking about the bigger picture, but basing upcoming behavior on those news, you know, banning proof of work, these things, because when they do this, Bitcoin will have to change its algorithm. Okay, there's no other way. And the CCP will lose control over the proof of work, mining, pools, all those things. Multiple coins are going to die, like Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. I'm not sure about Monero, Dash, and Zcash, but their future are not bright. Just a second, folks, please. So, the last time I talked about Bitcoin, I said a Elliott setup here wasn't straight clear. Why? Back in the day, we had the action around the 50 cents on Bitcoin. Yes. So let's say it was right here. So let's try to imagine something like this happen. Okay? So based on this chart and on this data, we don't know how or for example, the market makers are looking at it. Okay, maybe they are considering only what is in the chart, or maybe they are considering what was the last behavior that is known, but we can see it. So let's take a quick look. So 0, 1, and 2. This one is not going to match, as you guys can see. Okay, so this doesn't make sense. This is wrong. But now, let's only acknowledge what we do have. Doesn't matter where we add here 0. This one was the marginal high. So as you guys can see, this scenario matches the impulsive theory. Okay, because it is a theory, it's not a fact. Okay, that's why it's called a theory, Elliott Wave's theory. So what do we know so far, and what we learned so far with the examples I shared? And you guys can figure this out by yourself. You just have to acknowledge this in the proper way, that a rejection, a correction, it doesn't have to be 0 ABC, 0 1 2 3. It could happen in multiple ways, folks. Multiple ways. Okay, so that's not the point. There is a way to trade bullish and bearish structures, and it is not based on 0 ABC. Okay, that's what I want you guys to understand here. So let's say, oh, and by the way, 0 1 2 3 or 0 1 BC, it is going to be, just a second. Okay, it is going to be what here? Speculation. But we know that it must go below where? Below who? Below 4. So we know, so I'm going to draw here in the future just to have a for you guys to have a better understanding. So it doesn't matter how it is going to happen, and it doesn't have to happen this way. So let's say I was looking at $22,000, then a brief comeback before March, which is exactly when the Fed is going to raise rates. So the dates are not going to match here. This is the monthly chart, so if I put things close, you guys are not going to understand or see it. So doesn't matter how it happens, C will always be below 4. So this is the standard for this methodology. Now, of course, I'm not looking into this. That's not the only thing to look at. This is only the technical perspective. It is not a fact. It is a perspective. But if Bitcoin ends up banned, proof of work, Bitcoin is going to blow up. It is going to be a big damage. And just think about this for a second. Being banned, the mining, it's very, very bad for Bitcoin. Actually, it's very, very good, because it is going to lead to a change that will make Bitcoin better. And then the CCP will never, ever have control over Bitcoin again. So, yeah. Now imagine that Bitcoin is banned. So proof of work is banned. Let's say in a few months. Then Bitcoin will not be able to be, like they say, secure. Its energy is making Bitcoin secure. So a lot of people will stop mining Bitcoin, right? And with this event, Bitcoin will be exposed to a 51% attack. So I bet my shoes, they are going to be making big moves with money, and then they will make a rollback, because it is possible. And a rollback is one of the worst things that can happen on Bitcoin because it is going to destroy the trust, which is fragile already. So such a scenario, I wouldn't say it is impossible. Okay, so Bitcoin around 1,485 or whatever, 1,000. Now, the question, folks, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0 ABC or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, yes, that's possible. It is one of the ways for this to happen. Is this going to make a bear market or a bearish trend? No, it is not going to make a bear market or a bearish trend. But people who are making such a calls, they have no clue because they don't understand what they're talking about. So let's take a look here. If, let's say if, this is, oh, and by the way, there's a much better way to look into this. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Exactly on the honey spot. You see, which is $1,348. Or I don't think there is a worse scenario down below. I don't think so because that would be too wild, you know. Doesn't make sense, such a call, you know. So I don't support Bitcoin at the current stage, controlled by the CCP. 75% of Bitcoin mining is running on China. So yes, Bitcoin centralized and owned and dominated by the CCP. And with all these legislations, regulations going to take place, they are going to kill Tether. They are going to regulate stablecoins because that's where the money is. So they're not concerned with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, whatever. They're concerned with fiat currencies, digital fiat currencies. That is where the money, the real money is, okay? But so, such a call here doesn't make sense, okay? It would be, let's say, stupid to make such a call, 116 and 396. Obviously not. But 1,348 or close to it, you see? It is a breach. And then you guys remember the example that I gave? Ooh, oh, Bitcoin lost the support. We are doomed. And then right after, skyrocket because it will be dirt cheap. The smart money will know. They will know how to play, how to behave. And then the average Joe and people who have no idea, oh, Bitcoin is going to die. That's the obituary. It's going to blow. Oh, Bitcoin just lost the support. All the nonsense that you can even possibly imagine will trend on Twitter, YouTube, among noobs, digital gigolos, zigzag, all those nonsense. That's what they will be talking about. Again, folks, this is based on regulations and banning proof of work. Okay, so there are technical fundamentals. Yes, there is technical fundamentals, but the external events are stronger than the technical fundamentals that we have right here. Okay, so talking about possible scenarios based on solid real things. And let's see. I will remember the name of this video. If this plays out, it is going to be such a call. But again, I'm speculating. I'm not going to say, oh, I called it out. But at least I will say, well, that was something, right? Yeah, so now XRP to finish. 1 hour and 10 minutes already. Yes. So. What do we have here, folks? Again and again. This is a bullish trend, right? Bullish trend, not a bearish one. What happens in a bullish trend? Previous high, previous low, set pivots, higher high, higher low. Folks, this is one of the strongest higher lows that we have in the whole crypto market. And this is one of the, it actually is the strongest bull break ever, if I'm not wrong, in the crypto market. I mean, not from a scam token that just died, you know, pump and dump things. And yeah, so I'm not going to comment on targets. You guys know what I think. You guys already saw what I'm expecting to happen, but so what we did had here, bullish development. Yes. So again, let's use the same fundamentals we used for all the others, and let's take a look how things are looking. Yes. And have in mind the example on XLM. Okay? It is not the same, but it is very similar. And again, we are talking about a theory, not a law. Okay, so just like in science, there is a law, there is a thesis, and there is a theory. Okay, so if I'm not wrong, I already talked about this. But again, so let's go 0, right? Previous bullish structure that leads to the bull break. 0, 1, and 2. 3, and 4, and then 5. So why I did in this weird way? For you guys to be able to see it, you know, because if I go straight into the pivots, you're not going to see because it is too close. Then, you know, okay? So, below 4, it's the usual behavior, right? Yes, it is the usual behavior, which would be something around 9 cents. But, big but here, big one that is probably going to be key to understand what is going on. You guys remember we already talked about this. This is nothing new right here. So this is called the bottom reversal structure, which means the whole majority of times price will never come back against it, you know, making like a whole bridge on the previous structure. The chances are very low. It's still possible. Yes, still, but doesn't make any sense. And why doesn't make any sense? Let's take a look at it. Previous high, previous low. So this guy, let me give you a better example here, how this works. I already talked about this. I already recorded a video about this. I already explained this. And there are many other fundamentals, but so why I don't think we can have something close to 9 cents or below the bottom reversal structure? Why? Why, sir? Why? There is a rule that for bull breaks in a bullish market or in a bullish trend or whatever, they always must stay above 100% in a strong way. Okay? It is kind of a standard, okay? And also to call a bear break at a bottom reversal structure doesn't make any sense, okay? So it's like anyone doing this, it is going to be wrong 90 to 89% of the time. So why to look into such a scenario if they usually don't play out? It is possible, but I don't even remember the last time I saw one, just for you guys to understand the ratio, okay? So, all this said, oh, why do we have a different number then Bitcoin, Ethereum, so on and on and on and on and on. And even though people say XRP will never be worth $100, will go to zero, all this nonsense. And yeah, so, and you guys remember the example that I gave? They will be right in the short term, and then they will be wrong on the macro perspective. That's exactly how this is going to unfold. And what is our fundamentals? What is holding our technical view on this? This is a bullish trend, not a bearish one. This is a fact. They are talking about bearish trend which doesn't have it. It's not real. Okay. So that's quite fun, you know. This is the honey spot. Actually, is one of the levels inside the honey spot, but it is above. Actually, it is inside the bottom reversal structure right here. Okay, so have this in mind, because in the near future we are going to come back at this. And folks, why I'm using a inverted Fibonacci retracement tool? Because when we are measuring a bull, let's say a bullish move, we go from the left to the right. You see? Measuring a bull move. When we are measuring a correction or a bearish move, we go from the left to the right. That's why the numbers are inverted. One is to measure the bull, the other is to measure the bear. Okay, so, and we are in 2022, and there are people who are considered the legends, you know. Oh, Mr. Zigzag Buffoon Land, oh, the digital gigolo master, and they still don't have any idea even about such basic things. That's mind-blowing. It's just like off the charts. But so now let's get closer. So this is the previous scenario that we had. I will draw what we had before, and then let's talk about what changed. Right here. So this one was the first, right? There was validation for this, yes. But then we adjusted to the tail, one or the other, wouldn't make any change. Then we had what? Another change, which is bad. Yes, it is bad. No news about this. But remember the macro picture. It is bad in the short time frame of events, not on the macro time frame of events. So let's start with this guy right here. This is exactly what I draw in the last video, you guys remember. And I said, if things change, if they look bad, then we rush to update and then we take a look at it, right? No change. So I was wrong about the possibility of a strong lower high, but it was a speculation, okay? And again, based on the Fed 2023, you know. So why XRP is bad? Is looking bad following Bitcoin. That's the reality, okay? This is the previous lows, and this is a marginal, very marginal higher low. So here the bullishness is lost into this range right here, this structure. It is almost a descending triangle, and descending triangles aren't bullish. most of the times they break bearish. Breaking bearish, it's not a bear market, and a bear break doesn't make a bearish trend. Very, very different things, okay? Very, very different. So the expectation we can have here, take a look at this. Do you guys remember that golden rejections? I was biased here. I turned the blind eye. I saw, but I turned the blind eye. I was still like, okay, still possible. And why? There is no touch on 780, but we had a touch right here on the 23. So I was a bit concerned, but this wasn't a lot of proof to say that XRP would go down. And by the way, all those kids saying, oh, XRP lost support. XRP lost support, support lost. Where's support? Take out support. Where's support? Take out support. Folks, how a triangle, bullish triangle or peanut behave? It doesn't even touch what they call support. Okay, so they have no damn idea what they're talking about. So it's those kind of kids that doesn't work, or maybe they do, so they don't participate in the markets. They have no idea, and they hate XRP. They hate. That's the word. And then they don't understand basic fundamentals for structures. That's why they always bring the support and resistance card, because it can be everything and can be nothing. Okay, so then they say, oh, now it's doomed. But just try to figure out how their support and resistance worked so far. Because here they said the same thing. Oh, XRP lost support. And then hack it. Like always. That's how it always happens. But so XRP is going up a little bit following Bitcoin. So XRP, until we have a outcome in the trial, when the trial is over, XRP will keep behaving like a zombie, following Bitcoin in a blind way. So the ratio XRP Bitcoin is weak. And I believe so far, after all these years, that it's weak on purpose. So this way people will stay outside, will feel sad, they will worry, oh, XRP is taking a long time. So they are punishing XRP investors and holders. And with each single time XRP doesn't go up a lot, more and more people quit. That's what the market wants. They don't want people to quit on trash. They want people to quit on the honey things, the golden things. That's where they want people to live. But we have the hate gang that can make anything right other than call for things they don't understand. But so, golden rejection. I was biased here. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I saw it, but I was like, still possible, still possible. So hope and power of suggestion is something very dangerous. So I was wrong, and I was hoping till the last minute. But then the last minute showed us that it's probably over for now. But there will be good news soon. So this is the Fed meeting. This is the 3 days. So right here. We are having, do you remember the example that I showed for weakness on ZRX? Now, after the current behavior, we have the same, not exactly the same, but we have weakness on XRP in the short time frame of events, if we can say. Oh, and by the way, another example. Here they will say, oh, okay, so XRP found support. Now we are going to moon. But no, that's another, it is going to be another break. And then they will have no excuse to tell why the supporter doesn't hold, it breaks, it doesn't break, wear in, wear out. It's a complete joke. So the question is, where is going to be the landing spot for XRP? So this is where the Fed is most likely, folks, because if they don't do on March, everybody knows that they are going to do on May. So it doesn't make sense, it would be a foolish trap. So it's more likely to happen at March. Right here. So my expectation now, based on current behavior, price action, and external events, is this: that we go up till probably first, second week of March, or maybe by the end of February at least. Then we start to see bearish development. I don't know if it is going to be wild. Maybe. I don't know. There is no way to make such a call. But it is not going to be... So just to have a idea here. Again, remember what I said about this. This is not accurate. And most of the times, the magic happens way above its sides or the corners, So let's go close to it so I don't lose the line. This one is the dumb line. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the dumb line. This one seems to be more like, okay, so I think maybe we can rely on that scenario. Now let's take a look on the fodder. Not the fodder, right? So the footprint. Yes. So you see, it's still above the honey spot. So with confluence, without confluence, doesn't mean it must have or not, doesn't matter, okay? But I strongly believe we are going to stay above it. So and now just for you guys to have a idea here, let me show you something. Let me see how close I can go to it. Right here. So here we have 38 and 61. So the smaller one and the bigger one. Seems like a good place if XRP goes down all that much. If, okay, maybe we could look into a possible ratio. So for example, let's say $22,000 happens. Why I'm saying 22? Because 21, actually not 21,000. Hold on, folks. Oh, actually, I can open the thing. Let me see. It's above $21,000. Actually above. I will figure out and then I will share. Okay, that's better. So, but let's say $22,000, just for the sake of this example. Right now, Bitcoin is at 36. Now, let's say Bitcoin goes up to, which I think maybe 46,000, and let's say Bitcoin dump to from 46 to $23,000. That's a 50% drop, right? So a 50% drop on XRP would send XRP. Of course, we can use this same scenario here, right? Because we are talking about Bitcoin a bit up. So let's acknowledge XRP with a lower high here, just for the sake of this example. Now a 50%, which wouldn't make sense. No, 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 no. 89, give me 89. 89 and 1. XRP, I strongly believe there are low chances for XRP to breach 1 and 89. Okay, so here it is. So let's say we go up to 95 cents. Okay, so 50% drop, that is 47. 47. Yes, 47 cents. But so what is the problem with 47 cents? Remember, we are talking about possible scenarios based on ratios and all those things, you know. This is not out of from the tinfoil hat. There is fundamentals here. The problem with 47, it's because it's too close to the previous low, which would still be considered flat or a whole breach. Okay. Another thing, we know the ratio XRP to Bitcoin, it is not the same. So for example, Bitcoin goes up 1%, Ethereum 4. Bitcoin 1%, XRP up 0.25, 0.30%. But when Bitcoin is going down, the ratio is even worse because XRP drop like there is no tomorrow. You guys know this. You guys know better. So that's why I don't think this scenario is a valid one, okay? Again, let's take a look on the macro perspective of things. Just to finish this video. So which was 26, right? 26, or just a second. Oh, hold on. Yum, 23, between 37, yes. So perhaps this is the honey spot. Like following all the other fundamentals that we used, etc. But so, and May, okay, so that's inside the possible time frame. So this is the numbers that we looked at before. 40%. So this is not a strong lower high, should be, but it is not. Doesn't mean it should be or it is going to problem just because it is not. So take a look here. There is a thing that is called prime scenarios, that they are better than others because there are multiple ones that can happen. So we look into the ones that are better, right? So that's the intention to look into such things. Yeah, so as you guys can see, this one was worse. No, actually it was better, right? Yeah, it was better than this one. So it doesn't change it anything because all the other ones were miserable. But it still didn't change the nature of XRP, the bullish trend. Now let's take a look on the same thing from the lower section into a possible target. We are speculating. This is speculation. Maybe none of this will happen. So it's still up 133%, which means it is going to be a strong lower high if it happens. Now, the best thing, Biden, it is going to sign an executive order, it seems, It is about the crypto digital assets regulation, which is probably going to be for the stable coins, but there is going to probably bring impact into the crypto market. And I think, here is my belief, my opinion. It's said by the end of February. So maybe this thing can be signed at late February, or maybe in March, close to the Fed move, or after, even after the Fed move, because nobody's going to blame the Fed, right? But yeah. And so we go down, Bitcoin, Fed rates, etc., stocks, and then right after, it is likely for us to see regulations, or the beginning of it. And after this news, I don't think a settlement is going to happen the last time frames, which was shared by Jeremy, if I'm not wrong, on August and September, because it is possible. Yes, it is. Would make sense. Yeah, somewhat, yes, that there is still room. Take a look here. You see, this is still bullish development. If we go up from here or from here, to then finally end up with a crystal clear big one. Actually, it's looking great. It's not looking bad, even after this possible scenario that a lot of people will quit and give up, but it's still looking good. And time will tell. Remember, the buffoons, the opium dealers, digital gigolos will say it's over, it's bad, the bearish trend, multiple year bear. They will be right on a short time frame. Imagine the time the drug stay into the person body, making effect. It's a short term, right? So people smoke the thing and then they stay crazy for a while, a few minutes. That's exactly how this is going to happen. Yeah, so right on the short time frame, wrong on the whole thing. That's exactly how this is going to unfold. Also, a member of the Champions Club, White Tiger, he asked, well, if this doesn't happen before the news of the Fed news and the ban on proof of work was before, he said, so this is going to make this setup longer and with room for another downside. And I said, no, but this was before, folks, before those bearish news. And so after those news, I talked with him again, and then we were talking about the different scenarios based on the current events. And then, yes, then we find out that this scenario is the one most likely to happen. And again, folks, it is going to bring devastation, the doomsday, to everybody who is scared, doesn't know what they are doing, doesn't know on who to rely. It is going to be chaotic for a small period of time. Okay, again, this is speculation, but we have many technical fundamentals as you guys saw. Okay, so long video, pause the video, take notes, do your own research, practice, do it again, take notes, start the video, pause the video, take notes, and I bet you are going to learn a lot from this video. Okay, even though I'm not disclosing a lot of things, but trust me, if you pause, take notes, practice, you will be able to learn a lot of things here. Okay, if anything changes, any news, you know, I will rush to update again. Okay, like I said, I will slowly quit my activity on Twitter. I didn't said I will delete my account. I will be observing, and this is going to be a step-by-step thing. Okay, When the day comes for the... Oh, and by the way, again about my mistake. I was expecting up and then down. What we have is down and then up before something similar with what we saw in 2017. Yes, when things start to go up, probably after regulations and rates, adjustment, etc., things are going to go up in a way that all those bearish kids will cry a river. Okay? Remember, macro call is what matters. Okay? Because even after being wrong on my short-term perspective, the macro thing is still valid. It's still a bullish trend, still bull market. None of this changed. Okay, so guys, that's it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your patience. Sorry for the long video, but a lot of things to talk about. It is impossible to make a proper technical analysis in 20-30 minutes. This is not for amusement. Okay, I could be doing anything else, but I'm here recording a long video, trying to help all of you if possible. Okay, so don't forget to smash the like button, share it for friends, subscribe as well. It is not going to hurt. It is not going to blow off your finger. You can do it for free. Just take 1 second of your precious life and you can show some appreciation if you find that this information could help you. Okay, if not, thanks as well. And that's it. I will see you guys soon. See ya.